This is the Hope Dealer Network, and I'm Gretchen Sortzi, Master Hope Dealer. Welcome to our Certified Hope Dealer Inspirational Workshop for March 2022. Our topic for this month is Pivot Power. March is an exciting month as we can take advantage of all the beauty Mother Nature has to offer us over the next few weeks. Now, this is going to include those occasional snow days and ice storms. They could still find their way to us. We all know that feeling of a week in the 60s followed by a weekend of snow plowing. The change of seasons is really a great reminder to us all. Change isn't easy. It's not immediate or even permanent. Now, Mother Nature is one of the greatest forces we know, and still, Mother Nature cannot shift overnight flawlessly. It's a process, and it's a necessary process of change, yet it never fails. The shift always completes. Now, when we're shifting to new jobs, new relationships, new goals, or mindsets, attitudes, new anything, we must stay aware that it's a process. All of us have great weeks where we're filled with sunshine and warmth, we're fully in control, only to fall to an ice storm or a snow squall. Change, growth, movement in our lives. It's an ebb and a flow, a give and a take, 3 steps forward and 1 step back reality. Now, when you can maintain your awareness of this process, you can focus on getting yourself through the process. You can plan for these moments, be kinder to yourself, and get back in the game faster, wiser, more determined. New seasons bring varied weather. Nature, Mother Nature, she knows how to pivot. Trust, be steadfast, and remember, spring always comes. Now, when we think of pivoting, we generally think of physically pivoting. But for this exercise and this training, we're going to focus on our mentality first. Now, our thoughts actually control the pivoting process and influence the other areas we're trying to improve. It's the most powerful place to collectively make change in our lives on this topic. Now, controlling what we think is essentially like a magic wand. It's the key to so many things, but doing that is a very difficult process. We can receive between 5 and 10,000 outside messages a day, not to mention the 50 to 70,000 thoughts we have on our own. And that's every day. So controlling our minds isn't necessarily something easy. It's not something everyone can do. It takes hard work, awareness, focus, and the right tools to get it done in an effective way. Now, with this kind of thing, practice makes perfect. And practice makes for a better life, improved health, less stress, better sleep, enhanced relationships. I could really make a list that's a mile long on the topic. And that brings us to our pivot power. How do we mentally pivot from thoughts that are reckless and don't serve us well and change them to thoughts that are and do? Because thought controls everything. We think, then we feel, then we act or behave. That's the process. It's very simple and sweet. And we don't just think negatively a thought or two. We snowball down hills at rapid speeds, allowing our thoughts to create movies in our minds, playing out our worst case scenarios, our worst fears, anxieties, regrets. You name it, we've made movies about it in our mind. So how can we change this dynamic? We pivot. We change directions. We pivot to something new. We choose to 180. Now, there are lots of ways to pivot that I could teach you. This could really be a 2-hour seminar where I rapid fire ideas at you. But we're going to start with one. One thing that can build a foundation or change for you, that can be a bridge for you, that can help you get over hurdles and through the mess and chaos. Now, many of you will find this one pivot tool to be challenging enough. I implore you to practice because you have pivot power. For our first pivot power exercise this month, we're going to take a look at the phrase, I can't, I cannot, or we can't, she can't, they can't, it can't. Now, have you ever stopped to consider of the 50 to 70,000 thoughts you have a day, How many times do you think or say, I can't, I cannot? Because I will guarantee it's way more than you think. And that word is crippling in ways you don't even know. Now, in the majority, it shows up mentally, but it impacts you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in all ways. We're going to look in our lives over the next month and find moments of can't so we can pivot to moments of can. Has depression left you feeling like you can't shower, wash the dishes? Pivot. What can you do? If you can't shower, maybe you can wash your face. If you can't wash the dishes, maybe you can wash just one. If you can't get your mile walk in for the day, what can you do? Up and down your stairs? If you can't clean your whole house, what can you do? Just the bathroom? If you can't put on a full face of makeup, maybe just mascara? If you can't spend that 4 hours on Saturday morning washing the car and detailing it, what can you do? The 10-minute express? Remember, we think, then we feel, then we act and behave. And that means your thoughts have a ton of power. You can take away the power of can't in your life and give it to the power of can, because you ultimately decide where your power goes. You know, you can't get to your normal church or religious place. Well, can you watch it online? You can't eat a salad every day. Can you eat it twice a week? You can't control your anger. Can you apologize? Can't journal in your thankfulness notebook. Can you say it in your mind instead? If you can't exercise, can you take a walk? If you can't stand the feeling of sadness that you are fighting, can you get a hug? Find a laugh or something to lift you up? Can't and can, they're a huge pivot power opportunity. Remember, again, we think, then we feel, then we act and behave. That means your thoughts have a ton of power, and you decide where that power goes. And don't forget how you use can't when it comes to how you talk about yourself and what you want. I can't be good enough for this job. Pivot. I can be valued for all my talents. I can't stand how I look. Pivot. I can love how healthy my body is. I can't achieve what I want. Pivot. I can do anything I put my mind to. I can't be in the same room with them. Pivot. I can be anywhere and maintain my mature composure. You see, we're powerful beings and we can do mighty things, but we must choose it. We must pivot to the thoughts we want and away from the thoughts we don't. When we harness our power, we can live more peaceful, joyful lives. We're more generous, compassionate, kind, and understanding. And I want this power for you. May your awareness be open to your thoughts and anxious to pivot. As always, thank you for joining us for our Certified Hope Dealer Inspirational Workshop for March 2022, Pivot Power. My name is Gretchen Sortzi, Master Hope Dealer at the Hope Dealer Network, and we wish you well in the coming month. Be blessed and stay hopeful.